Good day, friends and fans. Welcome to Tabletop News. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood Arcade, Power Games, Into the Ozmound, and the Erotic Tales from the Empire. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the patrons and other supporters who help make this channel possible, and invite you to join them through the link tree or use the links in the description below. Please and thank you. Now we'll start, as usual, with my favorite site, the Bundle of Holding. It is a cheap and easy way to get into role-playing without breaking the budget and expanding your horizons beyond Dungeons & Dragons and other, what I would say, popular but mediocre products. They are shadows of their former self. They are no longer they are corporate milquetoast products. They are not. They're popular simply for being around the longest and having the biggest marketing budget and having their products in the most stores. It's popularity by it's not driven by market demand anymore. It's driven by addiction. People buy, consume, and complain. And getting out of the D&D bubble is hard, but it's rewarding. Sometimes you get something like this, the Punch Nazis, which I'll move on. All right. There are lots of reasonable tabletop fantasy role-playing games that enable you to explore and expand your mind. And it's not like role-playing rule sets aren't easy to pick up and follow. Most of them are very similar, if not downright better than just roll the dice. Now, this is a set of Game Master tools for fantasy top role-playing sites and scenes. An entire collection in one price. Detailed city locations to inspire every Game Master. City sites and scenes, 1 to 3, $30. Base price, $14.95. So ready, you save a fortune just on this. Books of collected rumors, more than 200 strange things to overhear in passing. And again, an amazing set of collections. Dungeon encounters, 100 ideas for visited locations in your game. And magic shops. 3 little magic shops to slip into your campaign. Anywhere, anytime. And before I continue, I'd like to remind you that I have a Kickstarter. Your support is greatly appreciated and needed for me to continue self-publishing my saga, The Empire of Elves. This is book 4. You can continue or begin the saga with this Kickstarter. Get yourself a signed copy of my books. Limited time. All right, The Leagues of Adventure, a Victorian steampunk tabletop role-playing game for AAA. The Leagues of Adventure has the starter collection, $12.95. A Victorian steampunk role-playing game for AAA games in the Age of Exploration in the semi-fictionist 1890s, right out of Sherlock Holmes and Jules Verne. Globe-trotting scientists, crazy inventors, daring explorers with airships, mole machines, and weird gadgets. $12.95 gets you the starter collection with a retail price of $55, all DRM3. Level up, which I recommend to do, for $25.54, and get the bonus collection with 15 more titles worth an additional $87. Leagues of Adventure is the core rulebook for the Age of Exploration. Then you have the Weird Science Compendium. The Industrial Revolution gives way to weird science. Legal Adventures. The Grammaticus Personnel, 100 plus characters for Legal Adventures, Gothic Horror, or Cthulhu. And the Globetrotter's Guide to London. When one is in London, one's tired of London, one's tired of life. All right. Leveling Up gets you the Great Companion. Great Game is Afoot, which of course refers to the competition of powers between the colonialist era global powers. I think it started with 4. France, Germany, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and England, although there was also at one point Italy and Russia. But as you know, England was by far the most successful empire builders. And like all empire builders, they found empires break up, as all empires have broken up. Even today, their remnants try now to claw global power from others through some, as with the Great Campaign, it never ends. Now, Tides of War, of course, you have spacefaring, moon madness washes over the globe, and lunar expedition. You're the second stringers that must find out what happened. Letter from the Leagues, collection of leagues, wisdom from the Leagues of Adventure, Cthulhu, and Gothic Horror. Gives you many threads for adventure. Mummies, gadgets, serial killers, vampires, and 9 globe-trotting guides. Guides to the globe, usual places, the ancient world, etc. And, of course, the miscellaneous. $137 of Victorian steampunk. Champions, 4th edition. An essential role-playing game from 1989. The premier best superhero role-playing game from dozens of key rulebooks and supplements, core rulebooks, collection $14.95, all DRM3, retail value $97.50 for the $14.95. Level up and pay $31, and you get an additional $105 in compendiums. In the core collection, we find the 2 Champions rulebooks with the GM screen. That alone makes it worthy of getting. And get the classical enemies, organizations, and corporations of the, what would you call it? A retro 80s, retro 50s, something like that. It's a retro world. Somewhat modern, somewhat not. I would say it's somewhat retro. It's a retro 90s before there was the 90s. It was the birth. The 90s didn't start in the 90s. It actually started. The transformation began in '88, moving away from action movies to and there were the rise of superheroes. Comic book 80s was a golden era for comic books, of course, but there was a moving away, of course, from that era. But it's still, superheroes seeing a rebirth, so evil corporations and villains and heroes. And of course, in that era, you had organizations of heroes and villains in the Champions universe, mutants, aliens, allies, normies, allies, mutants. 3 books. and the bestiality horrors of the night. Now level up and you get the Dark Champions, those like the Punisher, Dark Heroes from the early 90s, Golden Age Champions, those that took on the Nazis, because the era of obsession with Nazis hasn't ended. Of course, the ultimate martial artists, the golden era of martial arts in the 70s and 80s, and of course the mentalist, which was a guru obsession really with in the more in the 50s and 60s with so-called gurus with mentalist powers. But you have beasts, mages, magic, new rules, new challenges, and new heroes for the new millennium, which at the time I think we're talking about the end of the 90s. So when was this published? Fourth edition. So I think it's definitely the end of the 90s. But it's a wonderful role-playing game. And if you want 2017, there was a sort of revival of the 90s, and they refer to it as a 90s product because the vast majority of books were from the 90s, and it was pretty much the birth of the 90s anyway. And Champions universe has been expanded with 36 more supplements and adventures, with the Starters Collection at $17.95, all DRM3, with a retail value of $89.50. Pay the threshold price of $31.70, and you level up and get the entire bonus collection of 18 more titles worth $110, including 9 Dark Champions books. In the Starters Collection, you have Champions and Enemies, more Enemies, Day of the Destroyer, and more adventures, more settings, more adventures, Invaders of Pyramid, Zodiac Conspiracy had 2 more adventures, Champions in 3D, Traveling Companion book, Dark Champions, 9 expansions, some more settings, and Champions, the World of Dr. Destroyer, Mechanon and Champions. So you have Canada, Mind Games, and Watchers of the Dragons. You have bringing mutants with who can manipulate thoughts, stripping away memories, martial artists, the top martial artists, Foxbat, and other heroic inventors, taking on supervillains and terrorists with nuclear bombs. Some great material, 10 days to go on this one. And then, of course, we have the Champions for the hero system. Champions allows you to be a $14.95 for the full collection. Gives you an assortment of heroes to play. You have the cyber hero, fantasy hero, more rules for fantasy role playing, the horror hero, though it's more about survival, isn't it? The Kazai, Only Human, Upgrade or Die, Stronger, Faster, Smarter, Cybernetics, Near Future, Cyberpunk Setting, and the Ninja Hero. And then, of course, the Western. All for one price. Be a hero of sorts. All tailored to different genres and settings, but it's still all the one system, which makes it quite easy, and it's quite easy to learn and quite easy to play. So Now we go over to Drive-Through RPG, where we've got a new product, QuestWorlds. QuestWorlds is a not agnostic role-playing system. This is setting free. It's its own self-contained role-playing system. No other books are required. Create your own characters, worlds, and mythology, all all contained within one book. And this comes from Chaosium Inc. in PDF format. They cinematic, larger-than-life settings inspired by classic pulp fictions, comic books, and weird fiction. Now, of course, we have Storytellers, another new product. This one comes from Candlenaut. At the time of launching, it has been discounted. It was added to the catalog earlier today, US time. So it's got a few days to go before it reverts back to its regular price, at least. Now, these have created bestseller games before. This is another create your own world, create your own story system. It's your own setting, your own campaigns, rich tools to create, including the Cthulhu system and others. Uses various dice sets, gameplay, setting the stage. It's cinematic. Uses bearings represent your capacity to lug stuff around, right? So you have an inventory system, not a weight system by the looks of it, working on slots. And if you want, you can, yeah. You have activities, various gameplay progressions, and resolution systems. All handcrafted, brand new, added today. So all brand new. Please and thank you for your time. Of course, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I value your feedback. Comment below. Now, some of these drive-through RPGs I have. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to support the channel. But first, a shout out to the Men's Room and Anime Night 1992, two channels I regularly appear on. And as always, please support the channel. You can support me through Ko-Fi, Patreon. Patreon. I have two of my writing Patreon at David T. Applegate and my RPG Patreon at Future Fantasy. And as always, buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are found in the link tree, which you can find in the description below, in my profile, or use the QR code on the screen. Please and thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks to everybody who has supported the channel. And of course, before you go, please hit that like button. Thank you. And see you in the next video. Bye for now.